Happy Friday, everybody! Yay! Yeah, I'm online. I seem to have, I have one of those surge protectors, and unfortunately, I hit the button. Didn't know that. Thought I blew a fuse, and everything went crazy. But it's all cool now. It's a great Friday. Ready for a great show.
Oh,
If I can have my notes, that would be wonderful. But my
hi
notes.
everyone. I'm Courtney from Stars of the Morning Light. There was a little bit of uh, electric chaos, confusion before all this, so we were a few minutes late. I just want to say, as Lucky's getting himself together, thank you, Lucky, for taking the reins today for me. What people don't know is I called you before like 8 in the morning saying, hey, I know my day. I see how this is gonna go down. Can we just go live and you be the host? And so he graciously did that. And of course, threw him a little off schedule too. We normally schedule when we go live here. Um, and I also saw Lucky, so thank you as you're going through your stuff. I looked through the description that you put to this video. You have so much of my stuff tagged there. I really appreciate it. That's sweet of you. Thank you. So happy Friday, everybody. I'm Courtney from Stars of the Morning Light. And of course, we have Lucky Stone 888. I don't know. Okay, it's not frozen. Sometimes you freeze on my end, but I think is okay on your end. That's all right. It's Friday.
Yeah,
Happy Friday, Lucky.
I don't see anything, so I don't know
I
what
think
that
you're okay.
means. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Seeker of Truth. Scotty Boy. Welcome, Scotty Boy. How you doing, Scotty Boy? Um, and Courtney Mack, which is Satorian
That's
Sun.
me.
Hello,
Yeah.
Satorian. Yeah, I know.
Centurion
So
Sun's in there. Who is such a
thank you all.
delightful person. Centurion Sun,
Oh yeah,
they're
yes,
they're really
very insightful.
intelligent and delightful. Yes, and
Very
so is
insightful.
Scotty. We need a Scott. Everybody needs a Scotty boy in their life, and a
Scotty's the
Shelly.
yep. Shelley. Yep. It's yeah. I was prepared, and then went to sit down to get ready to get early. Get online early. 15 minutes. Get ready for everything, and then I sat on the surge protector and thought I blew a fuse, and freaked out. So I ran downstairs. So the fuses are fine. And I ran back up here and realized, oh, I sat on my surge protector, which has a button on it that turned off the power. These are things
Happy
I do.
Friday. I don't know what to even say. I don't even know what to say. It sounds like a lucky. It sounds like a
It,
lucky thing.
it's
It
called a
sounds.
lesson. I don't know what the lesson is for, but it's a lesson I have to learn.
Yes, there you
Why is
go.
this so hot? Oh, that's okay.
So, Lucky, the reason I ended up reading the description that's on this is because you have a very interesting title there. What I guess what folks might not know is when Lucky is on my program or vice versa, we might not know what we're going to present to the other person. And I really didn't because, like I said, I called Lucky before 8 in the morning going, hey, I know what my day is. My day hasn't even ended. I still have to do all the prep for a workshop I'm teaching tomorrow. So I had no idea. I read your title. What was it, Lucky? It's right above. The philosophical nature of God without dogma of religion. Okay. So what are we talking about, Lucky?
Um, uh, I just came up with that off the top of my head, and these are things I do, and I figured I'll put it together later. Basically, I know what my mindset was at the time now. What it is that I believe that all religions have basis, have truth, have kindness, and I think all religions are based off of truth, a universal truth that we are spiritual beings and that we're here to do good. And what happens is religion puts their dogma, and the dogmas are rules that they impose to be part of the religion that actually as I think about it, the dogmas tend to be counterintuitive to the religion itself. Christianity, from my point of view as a Christian, I remember going to church and seeing all the beautiful stained glass windows and the gold gilded crosses and the beautiful angels with golden wings and all that kind of thing. When Jesus, he lived as a pauper. He was in, basically simple clothes. He lived with the beggars and the prostitutes, the lowest part of society. Heck, the Samaritan, one of my most favorite stories, the Good Samaritan.
Yeah.
Samaritans were not at all considered anything to be good back then. It was basically Samaritans were like kind of like the outcasts of Jewish society. They were a religion that no one liked because they had such weird traditions. So, and we think of Good Samaritan as a generous, kind person, but back then it was an example of that story was, the pious, the religious, the highbrow. They didn't help this person, but the lowest of the low, the person that you would not really normally go to, was the good person to help. And so that's what I found. The dogmas of church tend to, or of religion, tend to be counterintuitive of the truth of religion. And I was thinking about how that impacts other religions, but I got stuck in Christianity. But the major thing about, Jesus was about loving each other and being kind to each other. But somehow Christianity became about proselytizing and about conversion. And then I got into a mind spin, and that's when I came up with that. We just think, well, there's got to be something about it. The truth is always there. So what causes it? People love their religion so much that they want to enforce it on someone else. So
Well, you
what?
said like multiple different things there.
I
Like
know
you went
I
from the
rambled.
dogma into then the forcing it on someone else. That's actually two separate things.
Okay, what is dogma?
Well, when I was listening to you, thinking about
No,
like where did this topic come from? Wait, you just pointed your finger, so what?
what do you consider dogma?
The organization of organized religion. That is so for me, because dogma can be the rules and the regulations and also all these concepts that have changed and shaped over time. So there's not like one little thing that goes into that category as in this is it. But for me then I would see it as the organizing of that organization. Because most religion, well, most people, I should say, most humans, people, we actually are desiring the order. We need order amongst all this chaos. And once someone realized that, they went, oh, well, then we're going to put a lot of order, which could look like the rituals we do. You talk about Christianity. Well, the Catholics do their all sorts of different rituals. Everyone has rituals. Even, you go to a mosque right now, there's some kind of rituals going on in the way they pray, in the way everything happens. So what it was is the dogma then really started as how do we organize all of this stuff because people want order. And then it became organized religion. So for me, the dogma is all the tags, all the hashtags now in today's world, all the tags though that are imprinted into that religion with this concept of keeping order and creating order because that is what humans desire very much so. That's how they end up falling into religion, is that desire for order, and that's why there's a lot of people, it doesn't matter if it's witchcraft. Oh my goodness, I had a conversation yesterday with a witch. God love her. If she's listening right now, I love you. We need to keep talking. And she would be telling me about stuff she was doing, and she knows. I went, man, that sounds like a lot of work. It sounds like a lot of work. But it's because rituals are order. And it doesn't matter what religion you are, it's the order. Humans love that. We crave that. We need that because we live in chaos. We live in 3D chaos. So for me, the dogma is making religion organized and then controlling it through that order. That for me would be, that was a very long definition, but that's what it would be for me.
Okay. And then I went off on my tangent, in which I forgot what that was. But
Well, you had said at the end, Lucky, in your tangent at the beginning, as we were trying to collect ourselves, you said at the end there, um, that then people force religion on others. So forcing ideas or forcing a dogma or forcing something, that is not part of the religion. That is then human decision, free will. Like, you're never going to read in a organization's bylaws or policies of force this on others. You're never going to, the Jehovah Witnesses that come to your door over and over again, the word forced is not in any of their material, right? But it's a covert dogma of spread the gospel, right? So I think when we use words like forced, because it feels that way, it's not necessarily forced. Because that force comes down to then that human is making the decision as to how they go about spreading the gospel. It's not, you're not going to find the word forced in any of them. That's what I'm saying about that. And to force you to believe. Even, and I'm sure there were a bunch of people that just went, what about the Muslims? No, you will not read the word forced in any of that.
what is convert then? Religions
That's a,
have
go
religions
ahead.
have in them to convert others to the truth, don't they?
Yeah, but when is conversion forced? I mean, you might have pocket cases. You might have been burned at the stake because you didn't, you might had to go through conversion, if they, but that's not mainstream. That's a case by case, still human decision in putting that force into action. That is not, and you're not going to read it in any material of, hey, go tie them up and force them. So conversion is then another person also making that decision for themselves. Force is a very big word, Lucky. But yeah, people because it's wrapped up in their emotions, you know. If somebody continuously talks to you about this stuff, continuously shares, continuously talks to you, you feel like it's being forced onto you. But you are if you're an adult, you're an adult who can make decisions for yourself.
Then what would you call children being put into religious?
I
Children
still,
get a choice.
yeah, but it's still not a forced. I mean, it's, your parents have the right to do with you with whatever they want to do with you. And then when you're 18, if you don't want to, you don't want to.
So your choice comes at 18. Before that,
As an adult, yeah, I mean, lucky. Same as we put children in public schools. Did you want to go to school? No. I mean, nobody wants to do things when they're a child, but you do as you're told. If that's how the parents so choose to teach their children, you know.
yeah, that's something we're gonna have trouble getting because I never see it. I think children learn best when they're free, and you convince them by making it. I liked going to school. I enjoyed it, but I had good teachers. Unlike now, which is more, there's more doctrine and stuff like that.
Well, right.
So
So you're an open parent. But if you are a parent who thinks you are doing right by their child, by having them go to Sunday school, having them go to, youth programs, having them do this stuff, if you are a parent who thinks you are actually doing the right thing, then how we can't judge that. Same as all parents, whatever they think is the right by their child, they're going to do it. Now, when the child is old enough, they can make their own decisions, but a child is a child, right? If we're talking forced, then I assumed we were talking about adults. Children, most parents try to do what they think is best. Like, here's an
mm,
example, Lucky, not religious related at all. My parents, my mother would not let us eat bad when we were kids. We never had any salt, we never had any sweets, we never, and also, like, even if I was with friends and their parents like bought me a Happy Meal, my mom would then get angry at that parent and tell him never to do that. It was to that extent. Well, that was her thought. She thought she was doing the right thing. A child, me, and my sister took that in as, damn, we're being, held back from delicious stuff. So then once we became of teenager age and we're out there, shit, I was eating me some Burger King. I never got to have it. So my mother was thinking she was instilling into me, don't have salt, don't have sweets, don't have fried foods, don't have any of that stuff, right? Very wise. As an adult now at 40, I'm like, yeah, I, sh- I should have kept that going. As a child, we don't realize, we think we're being restricted. We think it's wrong, right? Well, who's to say? Who's to say? Everything in moderation and balance. That's the point I'm trying to make. My mom thought she was doing right. My mom thought she was doing the right thing. As teenagers and young adults, my sister and I, we could choose whatever the hell we were going to eat. We could do whatever we wanted, right? So I can't be against my mom for thinking she was doing the right thing. I can't, you know. So, and it's the same thing with religion. It's the same thing with everything. That your child is for you to raise, right? Now, many parents in today's world, that free range child, I was very free ranged, you know, to each their own. It's their child, right? I mean, if it was up to me when I was a kid, Lucky, I would never have gone to school. I would have never got, I mean, I wouldn't have done a damn thing but run the streets. I mean, as a child, I was already running the streets. So, what, you know what I mean? Like, there has to be some kind of guidance. And so that parent gets to choose whatever they decide what to choose. And a kid will feel like it's being forced, but that's because they're a child and everything is not what they want.
so you think guidance is forced?
No, no. It depends on, I mean, it depends on what it is. Does a child have a choice? Does a child have a choice?
See, that's where you and I differ, because when you listen to a child, there are ways of guiding them into closer to what you would like, would best for them, without cutting them off completely and making the taboo thing much more
Oh, see, I was raised
covetous.
different. I was raised so different. Like, if I
Oh,
wanted,
oh,
yeah,
you understand. I also came from a place where at 4 I could see dead people, and I was put into front of a priest and told that you're seeing demons, and was punished for
right.
seeing it, and kept out of church until well into my almost teens. And I still remember all this. And so finally in my later teens, it was acceptable that I could actually see them again. And I lost 13 years of my time without being able to express my psychic abilities. That was forced on me. I don't see anything forcing children for anything. And you say it's for their own benefit,
No, that's not, you're not
but
understanding what I'm saying. You're not understanding, Lucky. No, you're not understanding. You're taking pain. Right now, you
that's
clearly you have
forced.
feelings. You have feelings. You were forced. You were for This is the problem too. Is for some reason people think that their parents, like, I don't know what age people need to acknowledge this. I acknowledged it at 14 that my parents had a life outside of me and I had nothing to do with them. They had their own influences and then they tried to influence me. Same with your parents. They were being told what to do with you. So you were forced out of the church. Did you want to be in the church, Lucky? Is that what you wanted?
Of course, because
Why,
that's what
though?
my
See, that's what
family.
I'm wondering. Why would you want somebody that doesn't want you
This
as a child?
this is a much more complicated subject, but let me try to make it simple and brief. I was a child. I wanted to be with my family rather than putting into being with the nuns and going to Sunday school while all the family went to church.
Yeah, but
It
those nuns
became,
helped you, remember? Those nuns helped you.
but it became something I couldn't have, so it became much more covetous because something that has been forbidden from you, you want to see it more. It's interesting, and it
Okay,
became
okay. So then flip it around. Flip it around. Same with, like, I couldn't have any sweets growing up, so when I became a teenager, I ate sweets. Flip it around the other way. Flip it around into the world we live in now that says don't go to church, don't have any religion. I'm really advocating for parents to do whatever they choose is best for their child because they're children. And I thought we were talking about adults because I don't even bother
see
talking.
that's the problem when you say because they're children, they don't have a choice, and to me that's
No, I didn't even get to finish that though. I entered into choice and you said no, they don't. You didn't have a choice. You were born in 1969. I had every choice under the sun, Lucky, to the point that nobody told me what to do, period. I burnt down a whole fucking house when I was a child because I could do whatever I wanted. You, my dear, didn't have the choice. There's a bunch of other people out there that it was nothing but choice. It was nothing but free range. It was nothing but there's no one there guiding you. Parents do what they think is best. I never got to be baptized. My parents from day one said it's your choice. Study them all, Courtney, and make your decision. So as you are being forced out of the church, I'm being told at 4 or 5 to study them all and make a choice. Because we're not going to guide you at all. We're not going to help you make any decisions in life. My mother's favorite line was, I don't know what to tell you, babe. She would not help me make any decisions, period. Same with my father from a young age. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's up to the parent. Your parents chose that. You experienced that. That's part of your story. My parents chose not to help in any way, shape, or form. They weren't even there. I was living alone by the time I was 13. My parents chose that. So be it. So there does need to be balance, and it's the parents' right because they can choose however they choose. Some parents care. Some parents think they're doing the best. Some parents, like your parents, were being told what to do. And then they fell for it. They were being told what to do with you. My parents, they were missing. So when we first started this, I was talking about you're not going to find any words of forced in any of the written documentation of any religion that has the word forced attached to it. Forced, as you were just saying, because it's a part of a dogma, you felt you took that forced decision that your parents had and put all the emotions attached to it, so we get very googly, gumpily hurt. And yeah, I mean, lucky. All kids can have the decision. If it was up to me, do you want to go to church? Do you not want to go to church? Because I don't really care. If you want to go to church, right? Not everybody thinks that way. Not at all. And when my sister wanted to go to church, my mom dropped her off. Whatever decision we made, we did. So you feel like that was forced on you because your parents were listening to dogmas outside of themselves. Do you still have resentments towards that? Because you said
No, not really. It's a good story, though.
a big chunk of time.
It's
But yet
true.
I
It's a good
know we've heard
story.
this story
Just talk
multiple
over it.
times that like you had such great conversations with the nuns. You learned to accept yourself more with the nuns. You like maybe that was the best thing to do for Lucky.
Oh, stop talking now? It's a good story. It's good for conversation. I will do whatever it can to get this thing going, and I got a good conversation out of it. And it's just the definition of words comes from perspective, and I wanted to see what perspectives come out of me and what perspectives comes out of you.
Oh, well, see, I don't even pay attention to the word forced because I don't think for me it's not a thing. Nobody would ever force me to do anything.
No, you define force as lack of choice.
No, when did I do that? No,
What
I
is
didn't.
force? When you heard me say forced, what did you think it meant? Religion forces people to do certain things. So you say religion doesn't force anyone. It's nowhere in there. But force through a thesaurus would mean different things.
When I think of the word force, I think gun to my head and tied up. That's what I think of. Like there's no other thing other than that. Like I don't have another concept other than that. And
Force is
even I've
coercion
had
of
guns to my
compulsion,
head and you're
especially
still
in the
not going to
use of
force me.
threat or violence.
Right. Violence. Like, so that's why I got caught up on the word force because, I think you're tied up, you're chained, you've got a gun to your head. When what our conversation has been is just, either good or bad parenting. It's just people making mistakes or not making mistakes. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just the journeys. It's just the journeys,
And that's the problem is you've converted. Somehow I went from religion to parenting, and I forgot how we got there.
Because you had said the word forced at the end of your opening argument. You said, how do all these religions, based on their dogma, feel that they can force their religion on others? Those were your words. And I said,
Right.
whoa, how are you getting the word forced? Because, no. There's a lot of things that are
Gaudy Boy says
forced.
force does not necessarily mean threat or violence.
The what?
Force does not necessarily mean threats or violence.
So what's the definition? You just looked it up, Lucky.
Coercion.
Okay.
That's not violence. That's convincing someone.
Right. That could be
Coercion
manipulating.
or
That could be.
compulsion. Yeah,
Right.
through threats of violence.
I don't understand the point of our conversation, I guess is my problem.
You brought up, yeah, you told me force in religion, and you didn't like the word force in religion, and we went on a really good tangent.
Because I don't think that is what is. I don't.
You don't think religion
groomed?
forces anyone to. You don't think religion forces anyone to do anything.
I think somebody can be groomed. I think they can be manipulated. I think there can be a lot of influences. That to me is not forced. Because at the end of the day, it's still human choice. It's a part of that person's story. That's what I guess where I need to come from. Even if you're
Okay.
in a cult, and I actually had kids that I case managed that were parts of cults that had to get, rescued, and they are way, they were not okay.
Hmm.
Still a part of the person's story, right? Were things forced, quote unquote, on them? Sure. But I don't see it how you were presenting it as a negative thing, as in it's a part of a person's story, even if it's from beginning to end. It's just their story. That's it. I don't have emotions attached to it, as others might. Is what I was trying to get to. Is
Hmm.
that I was trying to say that people take the word force or hear the word force and they immediately attach emotions to it because we feel like it's a wrong thing. I don't see it as a wrong thing. I don't see it as anything other than it's a part of somebody's story. That's it.
I suppose.
I that's it. And then maybe next round they do something different. Maybe stuff need to happen so they can be where they are today, to be inspiration to others. That's the thing, is that so many people have emotions attached to this stuff, and that it clouds what it is.
Well, that's the problem with being human. We have emotions, and emotions are attached to our perception and what we see and what we feel in our life. So this is all true.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, switching gears because I have a lot
Yeah.
of things to talk about, and
Go
this was
ahead,
not
because
one of them.
yeah.
This was not one of them at all. It just happened to be interesting enough to continue on. Okay, tough one. Here's another tough one. Do you believe that we are God? Do you believe we're an aspect of God, or you believe we're a part of God?
We as in humans?
You as an individual, are you God? Are you part
Yeah.
of God? Are you an
Me
aspect
as
of
an
God?
individual.
You.
Me.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. I'm part of the great I am. Yeah.
So, I mean, with that, are you God?
Yeah, sure. I'll say it.
Hmm. Made it much more difficult
Made it much more difficult. Yeah, I'll say it. I'm God.
because
I have
I
no
was,
problem saying that. I
because
have absolutely zero problem saying that. And it's not in an egotistical way. It's that I understand there is no separation, so therefore I am. Same as I'm also negative forced energy. Same as I am good positive love. Same. There is no separation. So therefore I am all the laws, all the powers, all of the order, and all of the chaos in one. I mean, so therefore, yes. I mean, I have no problem saying that because I understand how all this works.
but you're also limited as a God. Because a God is omnipotent. A God can do anything they put their mind to.
So can I. So can the majority. That we already are, we're just not recognizing it as that.
So you can manifest anything you put your mind to.
Yes, I mean, think about it. Like today, when I was talking earlier, I kept kind of stressing consistency, right? People need to have consistency. Well, unfortunately, 3D and the rat race of 3D has now shifted our mind to see consistency as not a good thing because it's attached to things like you better pay your bills on a consistent basis or you get these fees. You better show up to work on at 8 o'clock every morning consistently or you get fired. We've attached all this negative connotation stuff onto consistency when it actually would be beneficial, be a part of the order that we need to get out of the chaos. But same as we're manifesting all the time, but we're not recognizing it as manifesting all the time. We're just recognizing as, oh shit, another thing happened. It, you you created it. We're creating all the time. We're manifesting all the time.
True. So why do people suffer? This is what they want?
Well, a 3D density is difficult. It's difficult. And they like we started with, they are striving for the order. That's why any religion gets so popular in the first place. Is because they're really seeking the order of the chaos. And go ahead, Lucky.
Oh no, no, I had a whole different tangent to go on, and you kind of, by your answer, just I
By
had
me saying I am God.
that's just ended absolutely everything.
How are here's the thing. I know who I am, right? I think that's the majority of the problem is most humans, we continuously look outside of ourselves for something like religion to create that order or what have you, a relationship. How many people try to find who they are via a relationship? Or the how you've been talking about like the labels we have. Like labels could be just mom, dad, sibling, son, right? We try to find our identities through that stuff, opposed to just saying, I am one with all, and rolling with that, and being the most magnificent being you can be.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But that's the problem is we live in our own manifestations we create, but we allow the manifestations others create to, I don't want to say manipulate, but control, not
Mo-
control, guide, change direction.
Scotty Boy makes a good point, and my husband says that a lot. People don't know how to control their thoughts. And Brad and I went back and forth about this for years because I would tell him, yes, they can. They can learn and develop the habits to control their thoughts. They really can. But it takes consistency. Um,
But that's your problem is that people can, but people don't know how. Just because
right.
they can control their thoughts doesn't mean they know how to control their thoughts. And even if you teach them to control their thoughts, doesn't mean they even know because they have to learn themselves. People
Yes.
never
Oh,
learn
yeah.
unless they do.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
problem is perception. You say, oh, yes, they can, but the point is they don't know how because they just don't know.
Right. So that's why you asked, why do people suffer? It's because of the fog, the ignorance, the forgetfulness. They don't know.
True, true. But then it goes to even people who learn how to get out of suffering somehow fall back into it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you yourself, you left the 3D and came back again to teach others.
Mm. Yeah. It's not fun. It's not fun in 3D. I
See,
the
that's another thing is life to me is an adventure and I enjoy it. I
For
enjoy the
many
3D
it's
because
very difficult, Lucky. And you know
so
that.
yes,
Yeah.
but difficulty is part of the learning process.
Yeah. Right.
That's that's the problem is um we can't take away the pains of others when they need to experience it themselves because that's unfair.
Well, it's sad because trying to go back to the beginning, I'm trying to wrap all of this together. Um, I keep saying people want order. Lucky, they want the chaos to stop. They want to feel that they are in control of some aspect of their life, not understanding that they are. And so, even if they have some moments, some big blocks of time, like understanding that life is an adventure, or appreciation, or they are practicing gratitude. Something will usually knock them off their block, knock them down, and then it's hard to get back up. It's hard to go back when, okay, that just brought me back. That's why we have stupid sayings like, well, that brought you back to reality. What are you talking about? Like I wasn't living in reality before? It's that it's the density of 3D that is difficult because it's that concept of you take 3 steps forward, you might fall back. And so even when they are practicing and they're learning and they're doing, there's always going to be falls. And the majority might not pick themselves back up. We're going to see it way more than ever before coming soon.
I don't believe that.
You don't believe that we'll see
I don't
people
believe
falling
anything.
down and not knowing how to pick themselves back up?
I don't
Is that
believe things are going bad. I think things are actually going to be beautiful soon.
I'm not thinking bad. What I'm saying, it's already known that let's say those in the woo-woo community or those who consider themselves whatever they consider themselves, you'll see them with like their spiritual egotism. You'll see them fall and actually choose not to get back up because out of embarrassment or what have you. All of that will be seen. And it goes for also just others. So think of the institutions will start falling. All sorts of stuff will fall because it has to, it needs to, it will. And that's what I meant by that. And people will not be picking things back up. But then what do you do? Right? What do you do?
It all works out. I mean, it's just how it is. The worse things seem, the better they actually are, in my perception. But I also might be Pollyannic, you know.
Do you believe? I'm going to give you 3 statements, confusing me in the beginning. um, I'm going to give you, okay, first statement. Tell me if you agree or not. I am as you are.
I have no idea what that means. I'm trying to get a
I am.
visual.
Like you say it. You repeat it. You repeat it and it'll help you.
I
I
am
am
as you are.
as you are.
See, I am as you are. I would say no, because I have perceptions and you have perceptions.
Okay, I'm going to go to the next one. You are as I am.
You are as I am. Again, I see no, because the mask, no, I don't see. I am as you are, although you are a reflection of me, that I pull from that. No, I would say also no, because
Okay.
again, it's my perception and your perception. And
I'm actually going to do 2 more then.
great.
It is as I am.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we got 1 yes. Okay.
Yeah, because I perceive the world, how I perceive the world and create the world is from my perspective and what, yes,
Okay.
my manifestation, yes.
It is as we are.
Oh, fuck, yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is a collective. The collective unconscious,
Uh-huh.
the collective consciousness can make the world as it. Yes, I agree with that, yes.
Okay, so then we're going to back it up again because those were 2 yeses at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's go again. I am as you are.
No.
You are as I am.
You are as I am. No, because in the individual, right, you're taking it collectively. We influence the world, but individually, It's too defined.
Hmm. Okay. For me, Lucky, all of
I
those are
understand.
correct. Yeah, for me, all of those are
I
correct.
understand.
Yeah, yeah. The world is a reflection of me, and I am a reflection of the world. And it is as I am, as much as it is as we are.
But I believe collectively we influence the world, but individually we have very little impact on each other.
Ah, we're wiping that away. We're wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off. That's not no, no, no. That go okay. So now you asked me the question, so now I'm throwing it back. Lucky, do you think you're a god?
Oh, yes.
You do.
Yes.
You do. I want to hear a good yes that you think you are God.
I am God.
Okay. Then how are you referring to yourself as not a big influence? As just a little bitty influence that's just doing it on individual basis?
What is a drop of water in the ocean?
I understand that. But then it doesn't matter if it's a drop in the ocean or the whole ocean, it's still water.
It is a drop of water in the ocean. So collectively, it is what it is. But
It's still water.
it's still water. But again, you
Do you know
have
what
multiple.
happens when water, when you put a drop of water in other water and what it does? How far those particles go out? You should look into it.
I'm a scientist. Of course, I know what it is.
Well,
But
then,
it's about dilutions and about you know ionic bonds and stuff like that. But it's diluted in the whole
see the
scheme of things.
web.
It's diluted.
See the web. You might only influence two or three people that are tightly around you, and then they influence, and they influence, and they influence. So, how is it not you and everyone else? Right? And how can you have yourself separate from the everyone else? If you are a drop in the water, you are still the ocean.
Hmm.
I'm just saying.
But
I'm the
the drop
ocean.
leaves.
I'm the water in your pipes. I'm the water in the creek down by the river. Like, right? That you can't. Yes. Are you an individual, Lucky Francis Smith? You are. You're an individual. We all are. But we are also all one. So you are a drop of water in the ocean, but you are also the ocean. I am as you are. You are as I am. It is as I am. It is as we are. That's what I say.
Yeah, I know.
You're like, I know. Do I gotta talk to this lady every Friday night?
It's far. It's like pizza. You can cut a pizza into 8 slices, 16 slices, or as we just found out, you can cut it into this grid pattern. It's still a pizza, but what we do with it individually is going to be different. So,
Mm-hmm.
but
Still pizza.
you consider the whole human race the ocean.
I consider everything though. Like if we're putting it into that context of like everything and how you are a part, I am a part, we're all a part of everything, the ocean would be everything then. From
So,
this
but
land and world to the our our galaxy and all the other galaxies and all the timelines and all of it.
I
All of
don't
it.
think you feel that way because you don't believe humans can de-evolve into lower animals.
Not in 3D, not in this zone, no, because it's based on consciousness. You will not find that in any material that you can revert back to being, a caterpillar. You will never find that because the whole point is to heighten your consciousness. That's the evolution of all things, right? That's
That's
what
gonna
most
really
texts.
shake things up in the Hindus and the Buddhist communities
Well,
when they
that's
believe
what.
you can.
No, it's not. What do you think? What do you think all their. What?
Yes,
No,
they believe that you can evolve into an
oh, that
elephant
you can revert back. Yes. I know that the Buddhists believe that, but that's
and the
also
Hindus.
based on, and the Hindus also based on if you need to learn a lesson, if you still have karma, if you have all that crap that I don't believe is a thing anymore. I don't believe
Uh,
karma is a thing anymore. You don't have to live with it. It can be gone. You can remember who you are, your complete origin, go straight back to your authentic, true, first created self in full memory of all the consciousness, all the lives, all the lessons, all the stuff. You can do that. And so, therefore, let go of any karma. I don't believe in karma anymore. Sure, was it a part of this system for a very, very long time? Yes, I mean, millions of years, cycles ending and beginning, was karma part of it? Yes. But I've said this a bunch of times on my show. It's not a qualifier anymore. It's now either you can choose to have it or not have it. I don't have it because I chose not to. If you want to have karma and continue to live through quote unquote lessons and maybe have to downgrade to learn again, go for it. That's your choice. No judgment here, but that is now at least a choice. It was not a choice for a very long time, and I'm making the choice to get out of that crap. Why would I do that? Why would I choose that? No way. No way, Jose. No. So that's why I can say things like this. The point is to be quote unquote, as people would say, leveling up, not going back based on some lesson that we've actually already learned. There ain't that many lessons.
Child, your minimal thoughts are so sad. To live in the life of an animal, you learn different techniques. You learn how to be and how to exist.
You've already done it.
And what?
You've already done it.
But just because you've done it doesn't mean you don't repeat it because you have to learn.
What are you talking about? You've already learned it. You've already probably lived in every single type of
If you already
mammal.
learned, then you would never return. You came back to learn again.
What are you talking about? You've already learned it, Lucky. If we are here,
You have
we've
never
already
learned.
learned it.
The lessons you perceive are not the lessons you totally grasp.
You've
You have
already
to
learned. Lucky,
repeat.
are you talking to me or are you trying to talk like through somebody else? Because I'm not jiving with what
I
you're trying to say to
don't
me.
see that's where
Because
you
I
are.
already. What? What? Why has your demeanor changed? And I don't
Child,
know if you're
I
talking to
don't
me or
know
talking to
why.
someone else. Because you started with child and I'm not a child. So who are you talking to, Lucky?
You're all
And who
children.
is talking?
You're all
Can you
children.
answer? Can you answer? Probably not. So I know who you are if you're talking to me. We've already done all that. We've already been through all that. Most of us have. If there's humans out there that haven't, cool. If you choose to go back and do all that jazz, go back and do all that jazz. We've already been through it. You don't have to choose to do that. See, that's the thing. We went back. Let's talk about choice. Because I tried to bring up choice, but then we went into something weird. You choose all of this, everything you're choosing. You're choosing. So Lucky, you chose to Do you not think that way? You said to me before that you think that you choose your life, right? So did you choose to not be able to go to church when you were a child? To be forced out of church? Do you think you chose that before you got here?
Yes.
You think you so? Okay. So then how is it forced? You're a part of the system already. You're just basing it on the current the current emotions and energies of this one particular life that you're living right now. We've already chosen all this stuff. We've already lived through all this stuff. There's not that many lessons to actually learn, so we keep doing it over and over again to get it through our thick skulls. Open up, and you've already learned them all. Just let it all funnel in. Break out of the fog of forgetfulness and keep going. That's how I roll. People can roll whichever way they want. Right, Lucky? People can roll whichever way they want. People can do whatever they want.
What do you mean by people?
This is getting ridiculous. Your demeanor is obnoxiously kind of annoying to me. You are not of your normal Friday night self. And you're also, I don't think, high. This is not the high Lucky. I don't know what Lucky is before me. This is a Lucky that I don't know if I've ever met this Lucky. What do you mean by people? I don't humans? That's another word for people? Humans?
The living or the dead, or both?
For what? To make a choice that they can do whatever they want? Living, dead? Everybody can do whatever they want.
No, that's not exactly true.
Do whatever you want.
That's not true.
For what? The dead?
Depending on which level which,
Why are we talking about the dead? Let the
because
dead be with the dead, and let the living be with the living. Right? If you want to talk religion, let the dead be with the dead and the living be with the living. You can help the dead move on. You can watch them pass by. You let the dead be with the dead and the living be with the living. Why would we waste our time talking about that?
there's never any waste of time.
Yeah, there is, Lucky. I feel like I'm wasting time right now. Oh my God. All right, last question, Lucky.
From me?
Yeah.
What is your highest desire? As of now, this week, what is your highest desire for this week?
I don't use the word desire because on the levels of consciousness chart, it's right next to fear. Desire is usually derived out of fear. So, what is my highest goal for the week?
What is your highest goal for this week for 7 days?
Yeah. Today's the 30th. My highest goal.
You have your intentions. You give them every week.
Yeah, the ones this week is for Brad's mother. She had her double vasectomy or whatever, and originally they thought she didn't have to do chemo. Now she's going to have to do chemo. It's not going exactly how we thought. So all my intentions for the patrons, for when we all get together on Sunday morning, they just need to go to her for health and well-being. That's my intentions, for her to receive positive grace and health and wellness. My intentions and my goals not necessarily are the same thing. Two different things for me. I know, right? Goals, I do. Goals are my actions. Goals I will get done regardless. Intentions is hope that will be in manifested form, right? Like intentions, there's not a time frame so much on them unless we timestamp them. Intentions can be kind of lofty and airy, like, oh, I want to recover from this, or I want this, or what have you. Intentions could be just to have the intention of having a good day, right? A goal is a objective. It means action. It means effort. It means get it done. So my goal and my intentions are usually two separate things. Because I'm going to get my goals done when my intentions might be something completely different while I'm getting those goals done.
Never answered the question.
Oh, what is my goals this week, right?
One. What is your one top tier goal for this week?
I haven't thought about it yet because that's usually my Sunday night thing. So if I were to answer it right now, it would be to teach a wonderful workshop tomorrow. But that's the end of this week. Next week, to focus more, I guess, on Stars of Morning Light than other projects. Because I always have multiple things going on, and you know, the juggling got a little chaotic through the summer as it normally would. And so I'm going to hopefully focus more on Stars of Morning Light and be more quiet with myself. The point is to be as quiet as I possibly can, with only speaking maybe a total of 10 hours or so next week, either to record or to do a reading or whatnot, the rest of the time to be in silence. That's my goal for, I guess, next week. Yeah, I had to talk to a lot of people in August, so I choose not to talk to anybody next week.
Being at peace is a wonderful thought.
Yeah, getting
Wonderful
alone time
existence.
with yourself. Yeah.
I think that's a very admirable goal.
What people don't know is, and the summer is what kind of threw it off. I normally, the last week of the month is kind of like a rollover time period of like if I didn't get to all my work or I still got to make these connections. And like this whole week was nothing but networking, coffees and lunches and adult field trips and whatnot. And then, but usually then the first week of the month, I don't take any clients. I don't talk to anyone. I don't anything. And it does get usually messed up in the summer because it's the summertime and house guests and life and whatnot. So I'm getting back into my groove of taking that week for myself. That's how I work. I only try to like cram my hardcore work into the middle 2 weeks of the month. The first week is all about me. The last week is any of that rollover residual that I gotta handle. Like that's how I roll. And most people in like my type of business, they really should. They need to take quality time for themselves. But that's my type of schedule. I work really well when it's like I got a lot going on. So those 2 weeks in the middle, yeah, I get it done.
That's
Yeah, Lucky
wonderful.
just switched the screen. I don't know what has been. Lucky, did you take marijuana? Are you on are you on the
No,
marijuana?
no, I am on nothing, and don't belittle the moment. I've already lost one video from that.
Oh my
I
God. Oh
haven't touched it.
yeah.
I haven't touched it in a month. I barely
Oh
even
my
drink anymore.
goodness. Yes. Well, Lucky, what's your top goal, I guess? I'll ask you.
I just After Monday, I have a few days off, so I would like to go and next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to be unplugged from everything and hang out with some friends, and I'm looking forward to that. I got to get everything ready before then, though. So that's my plan, to disappear for the weekend.
Nice. And happy
I
Labor Day to everybody. Lucky it's Labor Day weekend.
Yes, and I work for Labor Day. I work on Monday. Wonderful.
Oh, well, that's okay. That's okay. Because then you're getting what, a week off, you just said?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm sure a lot of people in the chat right now, or who will be listening later, would be like, I'd take that deal. Work Labor Day to then have a week off. Yeah, I'm sure
Well,
a
I have
bunch of
to
people
use
would
it.
take that.
I have to use a vacation because I have a lot of vacation to burn.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I still have to put all my curriculum together for tomorrow.
Good, good. So I think I've done enough, caused enough damage. So
I might literally re-listen to this one, Lucky, because there was something
I
missed
don't want to do that. I
somewhere
do not
in the
want to
mix.
do that. I think let it be as it is.
I think sometimes because you like to play, what's interesting is you do like to play devil's advocate. And I understand why, because it is good, like, good film. It tests people to get to what they're really thinking or feeling or whatnot. My mother used to do that. She's like, I'm just playing devil's advocate. She did it like every single thing you could possibly imagine. And then at some point, I think I was like 15 or something, I turned to her and I was like, have you ever listened to what you call yourself? The advocate for the devil? Maybe you're putting doubt into people's minds and you should flip and stop. And so I'm just throwing it out there, folks. If you're that type of person who plays devil advocate for entertainment and or to get to the bottom of things, you might not want to be an advocate for the devil. Because devil is doubt. So, there you go. That was a fun little fact of mine, of my life. I turned to my mother at 15 and I said, you need to knock that shit off, woman. Oh, Lord.
I think that's everything.
Happy Friday, everybody. Have a
Happy
happy Labor
Friday.
Day.
Go in peace. Find your goals and achieve them. Everyone, I have no idea, but what's next?